And we are live. What is going on, everyone? It is Tuesday. This is the Kicking It With Andy show. Man, alternators, batteries, you got a 2000 watt system, an amplifier, and you're ready to make the next step to get your voltage better. We're going to talk about it. We're going to test it. So make sure you guys stick around. And by the way, if you want to enter the giveaway, you actually have to go to Livin Loud with Andy livinloudwithandy.com/UMweekly. I tried messaging Bill, but we gotta have it updated so you guys can get your stuff. Thank you, Kicker, for doing everything you do, and I pick up the pieces where I can. Thank you guys so much, and without further ado, I'll see you guys in 3 minutes.
I see what we're doing. Kicking it with Andy, right? You know what that means. Living loud. Hey, yo, we kicking it with Andy at the house. He's coming to you live from the casting couch. He's a kicker freak. Hey, yo, what you think? So grab a seat and get your favorite drink. Don't go nowhere, you'll be glad you waited. Andy content comes highly rated. He got more hits than a Brooklyn mobster, doing hair tricks in the Cookie Monster. Straight give you goosebumps like you ticklish. Hey yo, rest in peace to Chris the Fish. So get your popcorn, Andy's going live, but the show don't start till Deviant arrives. What?
John K. rolled up to learn some sound effects. Met some good peeps, now we chillin', relax. The after show is lit, yo, check the live chat. And there's a clip, you wanna try that. Kicking It With Andy is such a dope show. He stays super positive and a super chill bro. Making us laugh with his McGill memes. Quality content in all of his streams. Why does Cookie Monster bang harder than a wall? Cause he was the big brand that started it all. Kick a bass so low that it's messing with your psyche. Y'all running sketcher while my homie running Nike. My homie running Nike. My homie running.
What do you guys think's better, Nike or Reebok? I don't know. I feel like I'm a Nike kind of guy.
Hey yo, Johnny, have a seat, relax.
All right, here comes Deviant now.
Check me out. Third verse like that, we say the best for last. Drop a super chat to get your questions asked. 5K subs, yo, he gon' hit. Got a L7X and a Recon kit. Tuesday and Friday, yo, we on the set. Unless he get that Patreon check, go ahead, subscribe, and he's on the mic. If you gotta run by, please hit the like. Solo and Wiz got that fish tank filled, but is he ever gonna finish that Walmart build? Ain't got a witness, so we'll never know. That was 3 minutes, now enjoy the show. Let's go.
My homie running Nike.
Hey yo, Andy, love you, boy. Keep doing your thing, King. You got this.
Homie running Nike.
Yeah, my homie running Nike. What is going on, everybody? True, thank you for becoming a member. It is Tuesday. This is the Unmasked show. And man, you know, I was doing a lot of preparing for this show, like I do every Kicking It With Andy. But I thought this one was going to be pretty easy, but it's not. It's not. And I added more and more and more to it. So we can do a lot of comparisons, because I know I've been getting blown up. I swear this past week, about electrical, adding a battery. I want to keep 13, 14 volts. I want better voltage. I want to make more power. I want my equipment to be happier. What are the pros and cons and, you know, the differences between upgrading your alternator or just adding some batteries, some lithium, etc. And we'll get to the nitty gritty because batteries are very complicated and so are alternators. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you want to enter the giveaway, it's livinloudwithandy.com/umweekly. If you can't find it that way, it's literally on my website there, and it'll work just the same as the unmasked giveaway. It's the same thing. It's just we got a new landing page for now. Thank you guys for tuning in. Love you so much. And I'm really excited for this show. I had a crazy night this morning. Stayed up all night. Took my dad to get some bone marrow tests done and slept all day. Woke up about 2.5 hours ago. So schedule's all messed up, but we're ready to go. I had to make sure I had enough energy to do this show and so that you guys would have a good time. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. All of you guys, John, Kay, Garrick, Mike and Usation. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Thank you. Love you too. Stoic, Adair, Kyle, Goddard. Man, we got Kicker Club up there. I have it over on my other phone. I think I do. Man, last minute, just putting everything together. We're getting there. Just do it. That's all you can do. So he's a Nike guy. I feel like he's a Nike guy. Yeah, there we go. There we go. What's going on? David Monroe. Thank you for tuning in. What's up? Can it be already Tuesday? Days be flying. Excuse me. Nothing anyways. It's time for the great legend, Mr. Would you just look at it? Would you look at it? Thank you for tuning in, Budget J. Would you look at that? Yes, that's why we have it. If you look on the top screen, I even have it up here too. livinloudwithandy.com/umweekly. I tried calling the big phone, and big phone, no connection. So I scrambled together and did a little bit of coding. We got it going. It's working. So it should be there. Let me know. Let me take a look at it here. Let's see if anybody entered. Yep, 7,300 people. Now, you get more entries for more things you click. The guys that enter every week, they already know the deal. But, you know, that's how that works. It's not 7,300 people, but still. The odds may still be in your favor. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Excuse me, man. I had a tickle today, big time. And we got to throw this up. We have to.
I took a look at it, huh?
Oh, would you look at it?
Yeah.
You looked at it.
I looked at it.
Very good.
I kept looking at it.
He took a look at it and he became a YouTube member. Thank you so much and welcome to the green team. Sky High for the win. I remember when I was first in car audio, that's all I seen was Sky High car audio wire. And I said, would you look at that? Baseman 495 Hiya from UK. Thank you for tuning in. Man, you know, I was not coughing. I had a little bit of a tickle. Been pushing myself. But we're here. Eddie G. Unet, thank you for hanging out with us. But take off your mask. That's it, man. That's it. I think I need one in here. Let's see. Scrolling down. I'm just kind of killing some time till everybody gets their seats because I don't want you guys to miss this. Plus, I have to say hello to everybody. Thank you, William. Means a lot, man. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, John. I love you guys. I love you. You know, I'm sure he'll be watching the show tonight, too. He usually does. Thank you, guys. Get tricky. Oh, man, he's calling for the rain. I mean, it did snow the other day.
Make it rain.
Hit it, Michael!
Eddie.
Peace. Thank you, 25. Appreciate you always tuning in, being here, man. You know what? Let's just do a little, does this work? Man, I was not coughing. It's all right. It's probably nerves, too. Last minute stuff here. Ken Alexander, the answer is alternator. If there's something available for your vehicle, same answer. If there's not, but now you have to fabricate. You know, I feel like whenever they say big three, I feel like when you upgrade your alternator, that's just a big step, you know, to make power. And we know this. It takes power to make power, but which way works the best? Which way works the best? Thank you for tuning in, Ken. And you guys are awesome. Yes, smash the like. Thank you guys so much. I'm trying to just see everybody. All right, cool. We're kind of caught up here. Bobby B, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate all you guys. I know John's seen this on Discord because, you know, when you're on the Discord, you get notifications, YouTube, you know. He's like, this is great because I want to see kind of the difference. I'm going to be making that big step. Doing my 300 amp alternator and Big 3 upgrade in 2 weeks. The video topic is great for me. I do need to pick a battery up for the upgrade too, though. And just like anything, you don't want it to be too one-sided, you know? When we're going to see the difference when you do one-sided, one versus the other. The pros and the cons. What can you get away with? And what works for you? Hey, what do you want to do to your car? Upgrading your alternator is a huge step. You know, you're talking about taking off your serpentine belt. I've had an issue one time, okay? I went down to a mechanic, and I was getting like a fuel pump or something. Not fuel pump, oil pump, something. And maybe it was water pump. One of the three. Anyway, it was on the belt. They took the belt off without, you know, really looking at it, and they couldn't get it back on. They looked down diagrams, put it back together. So when you do with your serpentine belt, you know, you don't have to take it entirely off, but still, you can run into problems and then length and all that other fun stuff. But if you go with the right, you know, alternator company, they will walk you through it and help you out. We got you, John. We got you. Just trying to get it out. Andy, Big 3 kit. You know, and that's the thing too. I see a lot of people do the Big 3 on a stock alternator, and is that super beneficial? It wouldn't hurt, but is it always going to help you? Now, whenever you do upgrade your alternator, you're going to want to have bigger size wire because you're going to have a lot more current going through that wire. Big time, big time. All right, cool. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. All right, let's just head over there because it's a little bit of a process. Not too much so, but it's still some kind of, you know, we got to walk through. Let's check the audio. Let me know if I sound good to you guys. Not too loud, not too quiet before I start walking over there and getting the show on the road here. Philip Lusher, I usually do Big 3, add a battery, do the alt, then soup up the battery big time. And I know I want to answer all these questions, but it's like I want to do the testing some and then explain more why each thing makes sense to do this and to do that. And, you know, I've always done things probably not the best way and trying to get the most out of what I have and really pushing the limits of whatever it is. And, you know, every system that I have is a stock alternator except the Eclipse. So it's really, you know, not the best case scenario. But hey, maybe if you got enough batteries, it might work, right? You're just really playing with time at that point. Thank you for tuning in. YouTube user, I love the name. It's very original, and thank you for your super chats and becoming a member. What is up? What's up? I was gonna wear the Ohio Gen shirt tonight, but we just wore it, so that's okay. Thank you.
Look at that. Oh my gosh, just look at it. Just look at it. You got to look at it this way, okay? You just got to look at it. That's all you can do anymore.
Thank you, Kibo. When taking off the serpentine belt, you can apply Vaseline to make it go back on easier. It also eliminates squeaks. You know, I never thought of that. But you know what? It makes sense when you think about it. Thank you so much, Kibo. Man, that stinks. We're going to try to make it through. I hope it slows down because I was totally fine. It's probably from not sleeping very well. I slept in a car for about 2 hours at like 7 a.m. till about 10, give or take, you know, and then came back home and just slept another 5 hours. So we're here. I appreciate you guys hanging with me, man. William, Andy knows that you just got to look at it. Would you look at that? Would you just look at it? Just look at it. And we're going to be looking at it with how much power we make. It's going to be awesome. One more question here, and we're going to take a step over there. Mac Cook, thank you for joining us tonight. What test tone do you use when you're setting gain with a multimeter on a subwoofer amp Andy. You know, whenever I'm using like the test tone software from Kicker, that's a 50 hertz test tone for the subwoofers. Now, I do have my own personal tracks of different dB offset, meaning whenever you have a dB offset, is just it plays the tone quieter because music isn't recorded at 0 dB. Otherwise, you'd be clipping, or just it would be clipping. It really would. You would be lacking somewhere. They usually record music at like -5, -6 to 10, and sometimes bass tracks are, you know, whatever. People run down -10 so that they get a little bit more dynamics. They're pushing it more because music's all over the place. So the frequency doesn't matter so much, but you also want to do it where it's not interfering with any kind of crossovers, aka your subsonic or like, you know, your top end crossover, and that's it. Because if you start playing too high, you might set the gain a little bit too higher than you need it, and that would be a problem. Because then when you're actually playing, you know, a full sine wave, not limited by a crossover, you might be clipping. So I would stick with 40, 50. I mean, you could go 30. You know, some people can just do what they please, but I would just stick with the normal 40, 50 hertz. Plus below that, you know what that means. Thank you, William. The Big 3 was the first one that I did, the Praisinator, when I got him. Absolutely, man. You know, I remember doing that too. Before, I added a battery in the back, but it was just a lead acid, deep cycle, marine battery. But still, I did do the Big 3, and I felt like I noticed a difference. This was before the times of having a SPL LAB meter, you know, so I really couldn't test it, or a clamp. But still, in my eyes, you know, my eyes were bobbling a little bit more. Maybe it was just extra sunny that day, and it was just, you know, the right song and right temperature, because that's a factor too. All right, cool. Let's head over there. I just need to bring everything. Oh, we got pennies, though. We got pennies. Thank you, Basshead Fanatic. Battery, alt, and one run of 8-aught will cure your needs. Man, you know, it's never a bad thing of having oversized wire. It can never be too big, but it can be too small. And that goes for a lot of things. Thank you, Basshead Fanatic. All right, let's try to traverse over to the other side here. So what we'll do is we'll go, because I have everything here. Got my other switcher here. I love technology, man. I really do. It's great when it works, too. All right, so we're on camera 4 there. Now I should be able to go to camera 2. And that's still over there, right? Yep, we got to swing this bad boy over. You spinning? All right, cool. We are spinning. Now I got a few things to do. I didn't want to kill the battery. Got to turn the clamp on, and I'm going to move this since the giveaway is not at kicker.com. It's at livinloudwithandy.com. I'll have to have Kayla make me a backup one just in case, because I know the guys at Kicker, especially Bill, like he's traveling right now, and at least we have the event up and everything. And I don't even know if it's his job. I think there's actually somebody else that does that. Is this my camera really unfocused now? Let me take a look at that real fast. Because I don't want that focusing like that. I had that off. You know what? Let's just head back over here. Because I know what to do now. I actually have this camera here hooked up through the computer now. So I can adjust things, which is great. Rather than just using my phone, which was kind of a pain in the butt here. Let's go to image, autofocus. How did that just turn on? We don't want that on. We do not want that on. There we go. Would you look at that? Oh, I love it. I love it. All right. Can we go there? Now, manual focus. Yeah, that's too far. Right about there. Because we're going to be pretty far over here. Thanks for pulling with me, guys. You would think everything would just save. Let me zoom in, make sure we got a good shot. Yep, nice and clear. Awesome. No problemo. All right. Now that won't focus. I figured it out. All right, so we got that hooked up. Clamp is on. Now, I'll show you kind of, guys, what we got going on down here. My wires aren't the prettiest, so don't judge me too much. But down here we have two power supplies, and we're going to be turning those on and off because these are going to be simulating an alternator, or two of them together, a high output alternator, in the worst case scenario. And sometimes idle current is different than full tilt boogie, and you know, just to show you guys the differences here. And we got a older AGM, but she's got some life. I pulled 1,000 amps, so she's got 1,000 cranking amps still. She's okay. And then we got a Titan 8 Power Series 5. And I've been talking to my friend Fred Jackson, and he's throwing a second one into his car. And that's not the main reason why I'm making the show today, but a pretty big reason. You know, I was going to do just alternators, you know, the difference of stock versus high output and voltage and all that fun stuff, because we're going to be talking a little bit about fuses too. You know, there's that involved as well. And why people blow fuses. Not even blow, but just melt fuses. And I'm going to demonstrate why that happens. Let me pull this down. Thank you again. Thank you again, Basshead Fanatic. Kept that up like a $200 super chat. Well, the pennies, they mean the world, man. Thank you. Studio looking good. I actually got to have this hooked up too. Let's see. Let's go to... Where's Facebook at? This has Facebook on it, right? No, it doesn't. I have too many little phones here. All right. I thought I had everything going. It's okay. Thank you for tuning in on Kicker Club. I love you guys. I really do. I really do. Thank you for tuning in, Basshead 30. I do need an arcade machine. I do. I can't get rid of the couch, though. Eddie G, Unet. Let's see here. He says, how many amps for an alternator to be considered a high output alternator? Honestly, anything more than stock. Stock alternators are going to do anywhere from... My Geo it's a 60 amp alternator, or 50. It's pathetic. And when you turn the heat on, your heat or your AC, I think heat pulls a little bit more, especially with the blower going full tilt. So you're pulling like 30, maybe 40 amps out of that, and then you got nothing left for anything else. It's pretty sad. And then most cars are 100 to 130. I was going to throw up the video. I did a little bit of testing on Kayla's car because she still has a stock alternator in there, and I was able to get 110 at idle and 130 revving. So I think that's kind of a clear indication too, where a stock alternator seems to do almost the same at idle as it does, you know, full tilt boogie. And some to a lot of high output alternators are going to do a lot more when they spin faster. Plus, with that amount of current, you don't want to do so much when this alternator is not spinning, because it's not going to stay cool, and you need other properties to keep that cool as well. So you want to keep that spinning. It's like a fan inside. It keeps the thing cool. So that's a big reason. And there's some that do more at idle compared to full tilt, and I think those are the ones that I want to look into next purchase for my alternator, because I'm more so bumping at a red light or at a show rather than going 65 miles an hour down the road. Just more so than not. Let's see how many. Okay, we got that. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. GUNet above 200 amps. Let's see here. Trap House TV, $5 super chat. Thank you so much, man. Oh, why isn't that working? And push.
Would you look at that? Oh my gosh, just look at it. Just look at it. You got to look at it this way, okay? You just got to look at it. That's all you can do anymore.
That's all you can do. Trap House, thank you, man. If you upgrade alt first and the C rate of your battery can't keep up, you're essentially running off the alt correct. What would that cause long term? Ooh. All right, I'm going to save that one because we're going to bring it up. We're going to bring it up. Thank you so much, man. It's already saved because it's a super chat. So, let's see. Right. I'm going to show you. All right, so I got my little handy dandy kicker notebook here, just so I can write down the scores and I don't get lost of what I'm doing here. Oh, Warhorse date. Nice. That's soon. All right, cool. Like teasing you guys. Thank you, Trap House, for being a member for 4 months. It's getting kind of hectic. It's getting kind of hectic. The notorious RVH is here. Thank you for tuning in. Andy, I recommend Autotech alternators, and no, I'm being sponsored by them. You know, they actually reached out to me a long time ago. Buddy Troy Underwood was trying to get me with them right before I got an Ohio Gen. I was thinking about it. They seem like nice people. They really do. All right, so, nope, this one. Here we go. So, what we're going to do, let's do this before I lose track of everything I'm doing. Let's do some testing. So right now, yep, we got the switch off. So right now, we are just on the AGM battery. We are on no power supply. I mean, it's a little 10 amp just so that it's, you know, it's fully charged, that the alternator or the battery is just, it's charged enough. Now, I could show you more, but I want to do it with a heavier load to show you the difference here, because there's so much with this stuff. I'm telling you, this is going to be a good show. Thank you guys for just hanging out with me, because I've been doing so much testing, and this is fun, and I've been wanting to do this. All right, so we're going to hook up the load tester. Now the voltage will read, right? That's just how the SPL LAB works. Okay, so we're at 14.3, 14.4, give or take. Now, what we're going to do is with every test here, we're going to be, this is going to be in the way. We are going to be testing for 2,600 watts. And the reason why I've come to that conclusion is just how this load tester works. It kind of wants to go there. 2, it's right where we can see major differences. 3, and the main first one, honestly, is whenever you have a 2,000 watt amplifier in the back and you're actually pulling all 2,000 watts, you know, music's all over the place, and some guys like to wire down. And I feel like around this range is where you're really going to want to add more power, period. So with 2,600 watts being pulled from the battery, that's a 75% efficient amplifier, 2,000 watts. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull 2,600 watts out of this battery before we even turn the car on. That's what we're going to do, because I want to get a control of the differences between the alternator, what that's doing, what the lithium battery's doing, the Titan 8, and a mixture of both, and high output alternators. There's a lot here. It's going to be awesome. Really is. All right, so let's go to 2,600 watts here, and I'm going to try to keep the rolls as even as I can. For some reason, okay. Love you, Mom. Thank you for all that you do for me and Dad. I love you so much, guys. Appreciate that you're here. All right, cool. Let's do it. Music's going, too. Yeah, here we go. All right, 2,600 watts. I think we're good. Woo, little bit over. A little bit over. 2,800. That's the thing, man. This is kind of tough to do. This is kind of tough to do. Let me give it a little bit of charge there. We're going to do that one more time because I want to keep it as close as I can to 2,600 watts for every run. I got a little antsy on that one. It's fun to just twist that knob, you know? John K knows all about that. All right. Gonna give it a minute. Oh, you know what? My clamp. My clamp. I need my clamp. I brought that down to test Kayla's car and to test the alternator, and I have it sitting downstairs. So bear with me for 1 second, guys. Let me go get that. Bear with me. Wiz, keep them entertained or something, okay? Wiz, can you keep them entertained? Oh, nope, he's not even there. Literally have to run downstairs, and I don't want to disconnect my headset here. Be right back. We need that clamp. We do. We do. Ta-da! Okay. And the reason why I want this clamp is so I can tell when this battery is charged. Because how, you know, alternators work and balancing, and when there's barely any current going back and forth, just like when two volumes of water mix. They balance out and the current stops. All right, we're charged. Feet don't fail me now. That's how I felt. Kayla's like looking at me. What's going on? What did you do? I need the clamp. I need the clamp. It is clamped. What happens when you opposite to everyone else and buy a 2300 watt at 1 ohm amp and happily run it at 2 ohms? Hey, you're never really going to run into many issues, you know, running an amplifier at not its lowest impedance going to just work easier. It really is. All right. Power. Keep want to call it power supply, but our alternator is off. We need to do that stock control run, just the AGM battery, nothing else. 2,600 watts. Let's do it nice and easy now. Come on, Andy. Come on. Boom. Got it. 2,625 watts, dropping down to 10.6 volts. And let's just get a little zoom in shot there. That's how I should have had it. Down to 10.6 volts, pulling 247 amps. And that current is going to be really the deal breaker of all this stuff. I'm telling you, voltage times current equals power. Better voltage, less current needed. So let's write this down. It did 2,625. Discover card. I ain't paying this week. 10.6 volts. That's right here too, huh? 247.6 amps. And that is just the battery. And 10.6 volts is really low, but you can still see that this battery is pretty strong, even down to 10 volts. And we're going to be talking about that a lot through all this as well. All right, cool. Man, we got 50, 80 guys in here. Make sure you enter the giveaway. I do have to have this click because I keep forgetting to click when I come over here. There we go. And now we should be able to drop the link over here. Should be able to, huh? Man, never run into issues here. Never. There we go. Make sure you guys go enter the giveaway. RVH, I can see it now. Give me a thumbs up in the vid. The shirt is loud and proud. And it's got power. It's got power. All right, now we got one power supply on, aka our stock alternator, and this is going to be the other control of the test, because you're going to have an alternator with your system in your car, but just one AGM battery. Now let's do a test with the same amount. Yeah, we only got 4 amps going to it, so that battery's pretty good. Let's go to the 2,600 watts again and see the difference. Let's do it. Wait, I'm on that one already. There we go. 2,600 watts. Woo! 2,660 watts, and we only dropped down to 12 volts instead. And we pulled 223 amps, so a little less current and around the same power. Literally 35 more watts. So we did 2,660 and 11.9 and 223.9 amps of current. So you can tell already by just having the alternator on, we're pulling less current to make the same power, and our voltage is staying around 12 volts. Now, we want to see if we can make more. So, next one we're going to do is stock alternator, but now we're going to run the Titan 8 with it. We're going to run the Titanate with it and see the difference between that with the stock alternator. So you're going to have your 1 AGM and you're going to add your Titanate. I know a lot of guys do this. We're going to see the difference to still make the 2,600 and some odd watts. Oh, I forgot to switch that to there. We need to go to cam 4 and then cam 2, and then I'll be able to switch back and forth, back and forth. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. 53 you guys. You guys are awesome. I'm just killing time because now the battery's charged and we're good to go. Let's test number 3. 2001 monolithic. I remember that guy. Third era, all them guys. How do I join the giveaway? Top right of the screen here, livinloudandAndy.com/umweekly. And it's pinned in YouTube land. It's pinned. Horsey is invisible. He's watching though. He's just looking at it. All right, so now we're going to turn on this Titanate. But now what I'm going to do... Oh, yeah. As soon as I pulled that Titanate on, put that Titanate on. Woo! Yeah, she needs charged. 100 amps. 100 amps. 60 amps. 50 amps. 40. 39. 33. That's crazy. Those do charge really fast. And they're small. They're small, and spoiler, they do about the same amount of, quote, power as that giant AGM that's sitting there, and that weighs so much power. It weighs so much, man. It really does. All right. Horsey is loud. Yep, AGM. 4 amps, we're charged. 3 amps, yep, we're good. And that's the cool thing about the Titanate RSV5. If you're running at a lower voltage range, you know, normal operating range, it doesn't take much to charge them because their operating range is pretty close to what a lead acid AGM battery is. Excuse me. All right, so now let's do 2,600 watts again and see if we can beat 11.9 volts. Let's do it. I'm trying to keep the runs pretty equal with the load and the pull. Right there. Nice. So with the stock alternator, but now with the Titanate in there, alongside the AGM, we're pulling, you know, the same amount of power, dropping down to 12.8 volts, and now even less current, 205 amps, to do the same 2,600 watts. And that's really good. Let me write this down before I keep going, because I will get lost. 12.8 and 205.2 amps. That's pretty impressive, honestly. Not bad at all. Now, some are going to say, you know, well, I want 14 volts, I want 13 volts. Okay. Let's do this. Instead of buying the Titanate, let's just upgrade the alternator. Let's put a high output alternator in here with the AGM. Let's see the difference. Boom shakalaka. I love this stuff. I really do. Let's see. Mr. Mullen, I can see your comments. I can see them. And he tried the same test, but with CCA. Cold crank amps. Or you mean CCA wire. Yeah, probably a little bit more of a voltage drop with the same size wire for sure. All right, we got that written down. We're good. All right, so high output alternator. And say we're at idle or, you know, just not the biggest alternator, because there are 350 to 400 amp alternators out there. And again, like I was saying earlier in the program here, that, you know, when you're at idle, it's going to do a little different compared to spinning full tilt boogie. And there's all different types of ones. If I had another power supply, which I will eventually, I could have done 300 amps, but that's why we're staying in this range of power, because honestly, this is when you should upgrade. This is when you should upgrade to stay, you know, at a higher voltage. You really don't want to see 11s. It's not the end of the world, though. You do not want to see 10s. 10s are the danger zone. You know the song. But 12s and 13s are kind of where you want to be, realistically. And 11 volt, it's all right. Might be harder on your equipment, but it definitely, it's not the end of the world. It really isn't, especially with how this voltage is. And now I'm going to get into that when we finish all this testing here. We got a $10 super chat from LLwA, and it's Tuesday.
This is what makes time travel possible. The flux capacitor.
Flux capacitor.
Thank you so much, LLwA. Thanks for the content, and much thanks to all the fellow Livin Loud with Andy supporters. I love you guys, man. You guys make this show keep going, period. And you guys are awesome. I wish I could hang out with you more in the Discord, the after parties, and just sidejacking, but I would if I could. I'm a very busy guy, and it's all thanks to you guys for keeping this train going. Corn out in the back, pushing the caboose. Appreciate you so much, LLwA, and love you big time, man. I hope you're doing well. CM Enclosures, I like this show. There's some things in car audio that's just easier to show people rather than try to explain it in 100%. 100%. And this is great for a live demonstration because, you know, it's just like, well, let's try this because we're going to do everything. And then if you guys want to see something else, we'll do it. We'll do it. So we did that. Now we need to do the high output alternator and only the AGM. And we are full tilt. No current whatsoever. It is good to go. So let's do 2,600 watts with a high output alternator now. Ohio generator. Rolling up. If you do need an alternator, though, it is in the description. Ohio generator, give them a call. Tell them Andy sent you, and they will hook you up. 2,600 watts. And boom. Dropping down to 13.6 volts and only pulling 193 amps. That's even less current and better voltage than it was with adding the Titan 8. Now, I know a lot of you guys are going to be asking, you know, why is that? And simply put, a battery has an operating range, okay? Your AGM, your normal car battery, lead acid, and even these Titan 8s that are meant to work with low voltage, you know, like your normal cars. Your 12.6 to 14-ish volts operating range. And when you start with the battery voltage, it's going to drop, you know, it's physics. The voltage is going to drop. So if you don't want the voltage to drop as much, well, then you need more alternator. If you want the voltage to just be at higher voltage when it drops, you have to start higher. That's the thing. These are 12 volt batteries. And then you start getting into the conversation of 14 volt batteries, 6 series LTO, NCM, whatever, CMAX cells, and just other chemistries, or even sodium that can run at high voltage and stuff. And that's where you really get a lot of the performance out of sodium is above 14.8 and a lot of those 6 series cells. And so you have to charge higher. And I've done some testing on the side, but we're not going to get into that. That's another video with, you know, the whole 5S, 6S. Love you, Jake. But still, and there's, you got to charge higher. You got to charge higher. But for your normal person that wants your voltage to be better, it's a big step, but your alternator is going to make the power, right? But just like anything, there is a diminishing return of, you know, how much power it can do. Let's just, for fun, we can hook up the Titan 8 LTO, but honestly, I think it's going to do around the same. Let's try that, and then we'll do a higher power test. And this time, I'm going to try not to pull my fuse, my circuit breaker. The heater is off. We're good. All right. So let's turn this guy on. 10 amps, 8, 7, 6, 5. We're good. All right. Love you guys. We got 50, 70 guys all in YouTube. More isn't always better for the amps. Right, yeah, you don't want to run too high of a voltage either, man. You know, and that's the big thing. Whenever in Kayla's car, I bumped up the voltage. I bumped up the voltage in her car for the 6S, and it's right at 15. It's like perfect because it's not too high. Like 15.4 would have been cool for the 6 Series LTO, but that I'm afraid of just everything. You know, your stock electrical, everything. Then you got to have 2 different setups if you want to run really high without having the risk of hurting your other equipment. But even then, it could still be bad for everything else. Thank you for tuning in, Dennis, local guy. Appreciate you, man. Thank you, CM. John K says, well, there's the answer to the question in the title of the video. You just got to look at it, John. You just got to look at it. All right, so let's do the 2,600 watts and see if we can do better than 13.6 volts. Oh, let's go bada bing, bada boom. Sip of water.
Twist his bass knob.
Oh, a little high, but still about the same. We did 2,630, and it's a little better. It's a little better. We pulled 205 amps to do less power, and we did more power at 198 amps and around literally the same voltage. So I will write that down. That's a good run. Did I not write that one down? Yeah, I forgot to. Oh no. I think it's the same. I forgot to write that one down. That's okay. I know the voltage was still the 13.6, and that's literally the clear indicator for this. And we'll do 198. I think it was like 200 amps. It was like literally the same. Now, let's try more current. Let's try more current. Now let's go shut off the lithium battery, right? We're shutting that down. Let's do more than 2,600 watts. Let's go above what that alternator can do, because that alternator can do 200 amps. And it depends the voltage, but you're going to get, you know, roughly 1,300 watts from an alternator, give or take, for stock. And with high output, it can be different, but still. Let's just try more. And I want to show you guys something that's really kind of cool. And it's going to work for both. But let's just do it with the AGM battery by itself. Let's pull... I'm going to do a slow roll because I want to show you guys this. And you're going to look at this, okay? We're going to go right past what the alternator can do. Because everyone wants to say that they want higher voltage. And they're going to add more batteries, right? Once you go over, look at that. As soon as I go over, I am down to 12.8. I just drop. You know, and now I'm getting into the battery. Now I'm getting into the battery and really just kind of, you know, on the tip of it. It can take a lot more and still stay around that range of 11 volts. Now, obviously, that's a lot of power for one AGM battery, but you could tell it had a lot of beef down in the 11 to 12 volt range. That's why these are great for starting a car. And, you know, they rate crank amps lower than 10 volts. So that's where you get that 800,000 crank amps out of a battery for AGM. And once you go past what the alternator can do, regardless if you have an AGM or a lithium, like a lithium iron phosphate, they rest a little bit higher than an LTO of the 5 Series. And I would have pulled the JY40 out to do it, but it would have been pretty close to the same. A little better results. But still, it's a 12 volt battery, really. More so a 13. They rest at 13.3 volts. But still, not that higher range. So once you go past what the alternator can do, then you start dipping into the battery. And the battery, it's below its nominal voltage is where the strength is. It's like, think of, you know, when you're working out or something and you're doing curls. You're not as strong picking something up right here as you are here, where you can just lift more right there. And that's the same concept of anything with physics and the battery, of just, that's where the meat and potatoes are. and it just, every battery's like that. So why people run the higher voltage is so whenever they start higher, they drop higher, so they don't drop as low. So you could run the 6 series LTO and charge at like 14.8, and it's awesome, let me tell you, because then you're dropping to like, instead of 11 to 12 volts, you're dropping to 14 to 13 volts. And that's why a lot of people do that. But there are some things that you have to think about when doing that. Just charging higher maybe to get more capacity out of the cells. Isolator, I don't know. I feel like with LTO you can get away with it because you got so many cycles. Now lithium iron phosphate, running that in 5S. I've seen people do that for amp dynos. That's crazy. I wouldn't do that. CMAX, no way. I would definitely have a isolator or just run that by itself, just because that resting voltage is even higher. So cool. Let's check the comments here. Oop. How you guys doing? Oh, thank you, John. Thank you. I'm going to write that down. 2,639. That's why we keep John around. 13.6. 193. So really the same, because we did about 100 watts more. Voltage was the same and a little bit more current. So it was staying right around there. Now, let's do this. Let's try it with the Titan 8 in there. I mean, it's going to be around the same to a point, excuse me, of the difference of voltage of running the lithium with it. You're just giving yourself more capacity over what that alternator can do. So at the end of the day, you're still on a timetable of what that setup can do, because you need that power to be placed back into the batteries. Otherwise, you're driving an electric car with a final destination until you charge again. You really do. So let's just do it for fun. I'm going to write this score down so we can get as close as we can, just so you guys can see the difference, but we kind of know it. And that's with, yep, both on. Cool, cool, cool. Let's see. 4,727. 10.7. 442 amps. And that was high output plus AGM. And then this one's going to be the same with a Titan. I swear I do more work here than I did in high school. It's great. I love it. Cornut gifted $1 member. Would you look at that? Hold on. Hold on.
Cornut. He does traveling installs.
There he is, stealing the caboose. Thank you, Cornut, for the membership. I appreciate you, man. What about truck battery sized ultra caps and that they sell now? Truck battery size ultra caps, like the UC31s and stuff. What a capacitor does is it can discharge crazy fast, but it has very low capacity. It's static electricity compared to a chemical electricity. You know, with just, there's no electrolytes in it. That's a battery. Caps are really not a battery, but they work. But you have to use them within reason. The best cap situation is when you have enough electrical for the system and you want for those quick voltage drops that you don't see with a cheap voltmeter, with a cap setup that is proper to the size of the stereo that you're running. That will keep that stiff 100% and helps with, you know, the dynamic punches and stuff. And we got 76 of you guys in here. I love you guys so much. You guys are awesome. SJC, Mr. Mullen, hearing my voice on Livin Loud with Andy is weird. We'll get used to it, Mullen. Love you guys, big time. All right, high output alternator is connected, and we got all the batteries. We're going to try to stay around 4,700 watts and see if we can do better. I mean, I think we're gonna. Well, let's just take a look at it. See how that voltage is still staying around the 12s. Woo! Not bad. And that's where the Titan 8 is strong, just like the AGM, but it's a stronger battery in my opinion. I pulled 500 amps out of that down to 11, and we did a whole volt higher, and this is with the high output alternator. So which one is best? You know, should I just upgrade this or I should upgrade that? Honestly, it's best, because once you go past what that alternator can do, you're in the same boat that you were before you upgraded. That's the thing. So you do want to have some kind of battery there to help take the brunt, the initial brunt. The only time I've ever had an alternator fail was because I had a stock alternator on stock electrical pulling way too much current. And I think it was just from too much voltage drop, period. Period. Holy smokes, that's some amp pull. 100%, man. It's a lot of gigawatts. Let's write that down. That's awesome. 4,719. So we only did 8 less watts, but our current, holy moly, we dropped to 12.2, but our current before was 442. And that's what I want to talk about. 387.7. That is crazy. All right, so why? I wish I didn't open these. I thought I was going to need them. With the 2000 watt amplifiers, you know, you look at them and you're like, okay, all I need is a 200 amp fuse. We'll just double it for this. We need a 400 amp fuse. Well, if your electrical is not perfect, what happens is that current skyrockets to do the same amount of power. Now, an amplifier at lower voltage usually won't do more power. It's going to do less unless it's regulated like some of the kicker amps, JL, and just, you know, fancy stuff where it still does the same power at 12 and 14 kind of ish. But still, your efficiency is going to crap, and your current's going to spike, and your voltage, because it's dropping, your current's going to spike because of that, and because you're clipping, because you're like, man, why isn't it as loud? So you turn it up more, and then your efficiency drops even more, because when you're clipping, it makes the amplifier work harder, then it's just wasting heat, wasting energy. And that is why you melt fuses, not blow them. I mean, yes, you can blow them, but from that slow blow of constantly going over, you know, we were doing 442, that's really not going to blow a 400 amp fuse right away. And if your connections aren't as good as they're supposed to be, that's going to increase the resistance as well. Because, man, you know, between connections, how you have power is voltage, current, and resistance. Higher the resistance to do the same amount of power, at the same voltage, you're going to need more current. Again, more current. And that's why the fuse blows and melts and just goes wonkers. And everyone's like, man, what happened, man? My fuse didn't blow, but the holder melted. And that could be a reason too, with just cheaper fuse holders that are just plastic and not really meant for high heat, which anything you do with car audio and you put in your car, I would always look for the best option. Not the most expensive, but the best option. And that's what's great about this YouTube stuff and all this information that's out here. There's plenty of gateways to learn what's best, because your car is your car, man. You don't want anything like that going bad if you can help it. If you can help it. Man, you guys are awesome. Let's see. What did I miss? All right, we are 58 minutes in. I think the giveaway is almost over, but make sure you guys enter if you haven't already. The Ioxys Super Cap. Yeah, that, I mean, I think I found the capacitor cells that they put in there, and it's only rated for 134 amps continuous. So, yeah, if that is the cell bank, I don't know. Let's see, scrolling down. What's the giveaway link? livinloudwithandy.com/umweekly. It's right by the Kicking with Andy sign, right there. There it is. All right, let's do I don't know, what do you guys want to see? I feel like I did everything that I needed to on this test. I think I did. I think I did. John, what am I forgetting? Oh, it's a nice shiny one, Dubby. I seen that. I was looking at it. Jesus, Dubby. All right. I think that's good. I just want to turn the knob. I just want to turn the knob one more time. Let's do a... Yeah, we did it all, I think. We did it all. Well, let's see what we can get down to 11 volts out of a high output alternator and the Titan series and the AGM, because honestly, I wouldn't run more than a 200 amp alternator on the Titan 8 Power 5 by itself. Now, if you have an AGM with it, should be okay. Just, it'll kind of split up the amount of charge current, because you can overcharge a battery just like how you can over discharge it. So that's always something you got to keep in mind. That's why I went with 2 banks of the LTO 6 series reserves, because the 20s are only rated for like 60 to 80 amps continuous. 2 of those, that's plenty. Plus, we like to run our stuff all the time. Okay, get it, Double E. Yeah, oh yeah, Double E's definitely in Canada. You think that's a lot of current, Dubby? Just wait. Let's see what we can do down to 11 volts, because you don't want to go down below 11. But that's where these batteries have their strength, big time. And we already did the AGM and down to 11. No, we went, yeah, 10.7. We went 10.7 and did the 4,700 watts. So let's do right around that 11 volts, but with the Titan, see how much power we can get down to 11 volts. Let's try it. What do you guys think? We did 4,700 watts. I'm thinking 5,500. Maybe 6,000. Maybe 6,000. What do you guys think? I'll wait. I'm going to look at your comments. Say, would you look at that? You know what? I forgot to turn this computer on. I was going to have this on. There it is. You're not connected, huh? Shocker. 5,380. Says Dubby. That's okay. 5,675. Need 750 amps. Oh, that's a lot of power. But that's what these, I think they are rated for that. Those cells. 10 amp at 75C, give or take. But I think that honestly is down to like 10 volts. But that's by itself. So with the 200 amp power supply, aka your alternator, you're really only pulling about 500, because like how we tested, once you go past what the alternator can do, that's when you're really dipping into the batteries. There's a little bit of power transfer when you're just, you know, pulling like what the alternator can do, and the buffer kind of, the battery kind of buffers it out like 20 to 30 amps of like that 200. So there is a little bit of transfer of what the batteries kind of dishing out by itself, and I did a little bit of side testing with my own DIY battery. That's how I figured out. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. You know, I thought it was just, you know, the alternator doing all the power and just, you know, no, the battery does dish a little bit out, but it's constantly getting recharged, so there's no drop. So there's that. Fire extinguisher time. Cornet, where's it at? We're good? We got it. We got the fire extinguisher. This is a Cornet special. I think he paid $1 for it or something. He's got all the crazy deals. Big time. Yeah, we don't play around up here, especially with all these batteries and stuff, man. RV8 says 5,886. Eric's going for 6,312. Phil Lusher, 5,463. That's a lot of load. Oh, come on, Debbie. The magnetic, I'm running platinum Duralast. Let's see here. I'm running platinum Duralast AGM 200 amp alt Singer. Perfect OFC electrical with Big 3 CX 800.1 to a Comp Q10. I'm hyper extending, verified, no clipping. I'm also in a 2.25 cubic custom box. That's crazy, man. Talk about overkill, but that's the way you want to do it. And once you get your electrical where it isn't budging, then it's like, ooh, I want more power. And then it's like that constant battle of like adding more amplifiers, then you got more voltage drop, adding more batteries and more alternators, and then you want more. It's just how it goes. So you got a nice setup. That's perfect with just the AGM and a 200 amp alternator. And we've seen how much power we did with that. And you only have an 800 watt amplifier. with a 200 amp alt and AGM, literally that, we weren't even dropping below 13.6, but honestly, it's probably a little bit higher, just how the SPL LAB works. There's an initial drop for some reason. I got to tweak it in, but I do test everything, make sure it is correct. It is correct under full load. So let's do it. Down to 11 volts. Thank you so much, The Magnetic, for tuning in and your comment, man. That's the way you want to do it. Bobby's just going for the stars. 1.21. That's a lot of load. No, man. You guys, keep it to the Discord. All right, let's do it. Down to 11 volts. Titan is on. High output alternator is connected. Let's do it. Woo, baby! Sorry, I didn't mean to scream. That is awesome. 7,107 watts. Wow. Down to 11 volts, and that's pushing that battery, but honestly, that's the bottom of the barrel of where you want to push it, and that's a lot of power for just having one alternator, an AGM, and a Titan. But again, if you want that higher voltage, if you would have a 6S back there, you'd probably be around 13 volts, but then you'd have to charge at 15.5. And that's the give or take with all this stuff. So that's not a deal breaker. That's a lot of power, and that thing is going to be a brick wall at 11 and 12 volts, just like an AGM is. That is nuts. Titan 8, Power 5. You know, and even if you take off one alternator, you just run a stock one, just subtract 100 amps from that, and you'll get the same amount of voltage of that, to do the same. You know, you would be 540 amps and at 11 volts still, and it would be like maybe like 6,000 watts, 5,500 on a stock alternator. And I feel like that's about all you want to do. That's how my quad box build is, and that's why I have two Titan 8s, just the Power Series 5. I charge it like 13.8, 14, so it's like really perfect for that car without having to upgrade the alternator, the charging voltage, all that stuff. All right, cool. You are late, Fi. Them amps, though. You're telling me, man. That is. Oh, there we go. That is a lot of amps. Just look at it. Just take a look at it. Man, and that's usable power. That is usable power for most setups. It really is. Let's head back over there and wrap it up, do the winners, and get the show out of here so you guys can finish the rest of your day, and I can say hello to everyone in the after party and go to sleep. I will try, but being up all night and sleeping all day and everything else, it's been chaotic to say the least, but things you do for your family, you got to, man. You got to. I'm just happy I did the show, made the show. Results are here. You know, this is high quality information for what it is, man. Just because so many people have these questions of what to do first. So as you could see, it wasn't just one thing or another of, okay, well, can I do this or do that first? I feel like if you don't mind your voltage drop and things along those lines, and you just want to be able to play like that all day without, you know, like ruining your stock alternator, without ruining your amplifier by dropping down to like the 10s, as we've seen, with just the battery and, you know, what have you without the alternator. But that's what kind of results you're going to get with a stock alternator and just a stock battery. You know, those aren't going to be as strong as that one AGM back there. They're really strong, those Group 31s. Especially, again, that 11 to 12 volt range, which is really what you're going to be seeing, guys. And I was talking to a few friends of mine, and they want to stay in the 13, 14 volt range. And as you can see, to stay there without going to a higher voltage battery, you have to have more alternator. But then as soon as you go past that, you're going to go right back down to that nominal voltage of what those 12-volt batteries run at, and with a load on them. So I get why people say run the 6S LTO. I'm a firm believer too. I like both, but you know, me being me, of knowing how to add diodes and bump up the voltage, and you know, the high output alternator situation not being stock, yeah, the 6S is the way to go, let me tell you. And I can get a little bit more power out of it. My amplifiers are a little bit happier, and it's just a mindset. You know, it's like, oh, look at that voltage. Would you look at that? Like, that is some good voltage. And you make more power without creating as much current to do the same amount. And that's better on everything. It really is, especially your connections, your power wire. Power is one thing, and voltage is okay to a point, but once you have current too much going through a wire, that is when you start running into problems. All right, let's see. I have this, literally this camera finally hooked up to my Stream Deck. Oops, excuse me, which is awesome. I think that's good. Yep. Now we got 1, 2. We can zoom in, up, down, just all right there, which is cool. Not that it's necessary, but it's cool. Andy, give us a good... No, Dubby. I think Dubby's had too many Twisted Teas today. VC is now a member. Did I miss it? It's because Double E gifted 5 memberships. I missed that. I definitely missed that.
Would you look at that? Oh my gosh, just look at it. Just look at it. You got to look at it this way, okay? You just got to look at it. That's all you can do anymore.
Thank you, Double E, gifting more members. He's trying to pass up Bubba on there. I'm telling you, he's slowly catching up. He is slowly catching up. Appreciate you, man. And that's probably how VC got the membership, which is awesome. And we got a $3 super chat. I don't even know what to do with this one. I don't have a thing for that. Here, we'll do some math.
Because we don't want you to blow it up. So turn the gain down, Andy.
That's a $1 super chat and pennies. Thank you so much, Basshead Fanatic. 7,000 watts for the win. I know everyone's going to be running to the hill saying, Titan 8 did 7K. Well, yeah, a 200 amp alternator, absolutely. And it's got a 5K rating right on the side of it. And that's that voltage range that we're talking about. You're kind of pushing it, but will it work? Absolutely. Does more amp hours help? Now, that is a huge question. And, ooh, okay, so there's C rate. I don't want to get too technical, but there's C rate, which is just how fast it can discharge of the capacity. You know, how strong it is, pound for pound of itself. So those batteries right there are 10 amp hours, but they have a C rate of 75. The Reserve series, which is the RSV Titan 8, or just, you know, your prismatic LTO, whatever, just the Reserve series. And if you notice, it has 2,500 watts on the side of it. And that's because the C rate is half. It's 35C, but it's got 20 amp hours. So at the end of the day, it kind of has the same amount of current discharge, but it doesn't. So you really want to look at current discharge, but of itself, not as much. And there's a lot more to it than just that. That's why I went with the 20 amp hours, just because I wanted more capacity, because you can have all the discharge, C rate, but if you don't have any amp hours, you're just going to run out of gas really fast. And the easiest way to explain that to somebody that has no idea what batteries are, think of it like this. If you're running on just strictly nitrous, you know, you're going to be able to go really fast, but not for long, without nitrous being replenished. And the lower AGM cells, or maybe like even the Reserve Titan 8, you know, they got more capacity, but they can't burn as fast as nitrous. They can't make it go as fast for what it is. I know that's not the perfect explanation, but, you know, kind of explaining it to somebody, metaphorically speaking, of course, where yeah, you need more of them. And there's watt hour density and just volume density, like weight and volume. So For the same amount of volume, you're getting more watt hours, meaning more battery, but less discharge capability. So it all depends what you're trying to do. More amp hours, does it help? I think it does. Unless, you know, you're strictly relying on your alternator and you need something that can just discharge fast, then amp hours don't mean a darn thing. They don't. It's whenever you go past what the alternator can do, then you're dipping into that capacity, and how much capacity you have, if it can keep up with the C rate, with the discharge rate, is how much time you got. And then you have to take a break. You just have to look at it. What is going on, man? How you doing? Hey, boo-boo. Haven't seen you in a while. This was a good episode, man. I'm going to definitely rewatch this one. I was excited to do it. I was like, what am I going to do for today's show? For Tuesday's show? And I was going to do an Ask Me Anything. And I think I'm going to do that next Kicking It With Andy, because I will be coming back from TDH. And I'm not going to have too much time planned for all that. To do the film and all this other stuff. So we'll just do a little Q&A for next Kicking It With Andy. But next Tuesday is Kicker on Mass. So make sure you tune in for that. Let's see. Marcus, thank you, buddy. Oh, come on. Press and go.
Would you look at that? Oh my gosh, just look at it. Just look at it. You gotta look at it this way, okay? You just gotta look at it. That's all you can do anymore.
I'm looking at it, Marcus. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. And this guy tuning in the Unmasked show and here. You know, I can tell. I do this all the time, and I can tell who the new people are. Thank you so much for, you know, just joining the party. Join in the party. 100%. Let's see. Facebook user, C-rate is how fast it can charge and discharge. It isn't just one side. It's both charge and discharge. Yeah, C-rate is, well, okay, the C-rate can be different for charge and discharge. Usually most batteries of whatever their discharge C-rate is usually half of what their recharge rate is. So if you got something that's like, you know, 75C, like the 10 amp hour power series over there, you're going to be around like 35C, so 35 times 10. So 350 amp alternator, estimately, the biggest you should put on there for just that one battery. So, but it all depends. It really does, and how people, manufacturers rate their stuff, what you think you could get away with. You never want a battery to get too hot, and you can get a battery too hot by over discharging or over recharging. 100%. Bass Busters, I like that. LOL, that should be a video clip. Which one? I try to update them. I do. Pulls back. Picture of the Chappelle clip now. Oh, goodness gracious. What did I miss? Thank you, Tree True. Thank you, man. And there's a lot that goes into the stuff, and it's worth it. It really is. It really is. All right, cool. Let's do the giveaway. Let's take a look at it here. Yeah, that one still never worked, so I'm glad I did my own on the website. Okay, 25,000 entries. Let's see. Livin Loud with Annie giveaway 3-12. Let's take a look at this. 50 people entered, and we got 67 of you guys watching. I mean, 17 of you guys are OGs for just not even entering, just watching. You guys are awesome. Big time. All right, let's go through it. Let's do the rigging here. So I'm going to try to... Oh, there it goes. Yeah, I got to turn the camera so you can't see what I'm doing. Just kidding. What I'm going to do is crank up the music. And now I got it where I can do both. So you will be able to hear me whenever I turn it down. Last time I forgot to do that. Let's crank it. All right. You don't need that. That's good. Oh. Oh. Seeing some familiar faces. Good. Okay. Let's do that. Now let's take a look at, okay. Good, we're set. We are set. They are awesome. Now I'll turn us down a little bit there. There we go. What's going on, Russ? Thank you for tuning in with us tonight, man. Hope you're doing well, dude. Alright, let's type these in. I'm going to pull... I know, I always try doing it so I can see your guys' comments real time here. I could pull it up here. Just look at it on my phone here. Let's take a look at it. Let's see. Wow, why am I not the first thing that comes up? Oh, I probably don't watch my own lives while they're live, so that's probably why. Oh, there we go. Cool. Pick me, pick me, pick me. That's it. That's it. There we go. Cool. Now I can just look at it. Awesome. Let's type in these winners. Excuse me. You know what? All right, that's third place. Second place. Oh. This guy's gonna love his TW2s, the brand new Kicker headphones. I wonder if SDK got his Bullfrog. He won last week. I wonder if he got that yet. Okay. And 50% off discount code. I love this song. El Fuego. El Fuego says for the safety of my sake of my bank account, I cannot afford another 50% off discount code. Same. I know. It's like I can't. I need 0 gauge water, but I can't. I gotta watch. I gotta watch. Don't need it. I definitely don't need it. That's how I feel. There we go. Cool. Actually be winning all the time. He won the t-shirt. I still need to give him his t-shirt stuff. And Nick's stuff is on its way. We got a subscriber. Worldwide Team Bass Cat and Downriver Sound just subscribed. Thank you so much for subscribing. That is awesome. Would you look at that? You know what? He took a look at it. He just said, would you look at that? You just have to.
I took a look at it, huh?
Yeah, would you look at it?
Yeah.
You looked at it.
I looked at it.
Very good.
I kept looking at it.
Kept looking at the show, and he said, would you look at that? I am subscribing. So thank you so much, man. Appreciate you. And I appreciate all you guys hanging out for this entire show. Man, this weekend's going to be fun. Friday, we're going to be talking about the TDH show, just the whole show. And then next Tuesday, we got the Unmasked after show, of course, following the Unmasked show. And then that next Friday, I will be actually driving down to TDH. So probably no show next Friday. But this Friday, we're good. So I appreciate you guys. Let's do the winners. And of course, with the first, second, and third place prizes, Bill Frog from Kicker will be sending you an email saying that you won. If it's the 50% off discount code, I'm going to be sending you an email, and it takes like 1 to 2 weeks because I'm slow. And I have to make sure that your guys' account is good. And by the time I go back, forth, and do everything else, I forget until last minute. But I appreciate you guys so much, as you always do. Man, we got a $20 super chat. Kibo.
I don't care what you say about kickers. This guy is a difference maker.
Thank you, Kibo. And Kibo's a difference maker too, man. Thank you so much. That is awesome. Heck yeah. More members, the merrier for the green team. Stacy Keen. Yeah, those are all the members that got gifted a membership because of Kibo, which is awesome that YouTube does that. Thank you again, Kibo. All right, let's do it. We're going to keep that up there. Third place with the Kicker EB 400s and the swag pack. It looks like they give you Kicker lanyards, the koozies, some stickers, some cups, the whole nine, and the Unmasked t-shirt, which is awesome, with the EB 400s. And I think they're 100% waterproof. That's what Bill posted on Instagram 2 days ago. I thought they were just resistant, so they must be waterproof to a point. I think it's 67. So either way, you can get them pretty wet, and they are awesome. Third place goes to Lawrence Jr. in Newburgh, New York. Congratulations. Thank you for watching. Look out for an email from Bill. He'll get you going. Look out, Steve Canadian just became a member. I know that guy. Would you look at that? Congratulations, Lawrence. All right, second place, the TW2 brand new headphones. Not over the ear, but they're earbuds, which are awesome. And the Kicker swag pack. We know him as Basshead30. Congratulations, man. Thank you for always watching, and thank you for doing what you do. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. First place, the Bullfrog 100. Well, where is it at now? It's over here. Here we go. The Bullfrog 100. This thing is awesome. I love it. It's got the tripod stand. You can hook up 99 of these, no more than that. And they do the job big time. They really do. First place of the Bullfrog and swag pack goes to Everett G in Lockport, New York. Congratulations. Please check your email, and thank you for watching. Now we got one more to go. I like this camera better for the prizes. So I can look at this over here, and you can look at it over this way. The ultimate grand prize, 50% off discount code from Livin Loud with Andy, and thank you for Kicker for making this happen for only this show here, which is, it entices you to come here, you know. If unless you're like El Fuego, you can spend a few dollars and use that 50% off discount code. That is awesome, because anything at kicker.com, half off. And yeah, man, this what we do is expensive, and it's easy to buy a lot of Kicker, especially when you got one of those. So 50% off discount code goes to Jason W. from Houston, Texas. Be on the lookout. The next few days, I will send you an email to verify your account. Make sure you're not a bot, and we'll get you going, man. Excellent. Man, you guys are awesome. Let's see. Rigged. Sorry. can't believe Stu and Ashy in on Lincoln Park. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. I remember where those gold letter 12s came from. Cornut. All right. Awesome. Thank you guys so much, man. John, thank you for keeping the chat in check. Oh, there we go. Thank you so much, dude. And I appreciate all you guys. How do you know where they from? It didn't ask me where I'm from. What it does is, real quick, whenever you enter, it takes an idea of your location from where you entered. So even if you live in a certain area, and you're like down the street, you know, like in another town, it's going to come up as that town. So that's how that works. That's how that works. So thank you guys for watching. I don't want to keep you guys here all night. You guys did great. We had like 60, 70 people the entire show. The show's growing, and it's because of you guys. And I try my best. Full Tilt Boogie. I will see you guys Friday. Make sure you tune in to the Kicker Unmasked show next Tuesday. I don't know exactly what they got planned, but it's always something good. Ernie and the gang. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Kicker, for making this happen. And yeah, I'm gonna go to bed. I love you guys so much. And man, this was Kicking It with Andy. Which one do you pick first? Yes, that's what you do. Both of them. Love you guys. See you on the next one. And as always, stay living loud.
Let's get it. Uh-oh. Yeah. Okay. I see what we're doing. Kicking it with Andy, right? You know what that means. Living loud. Hey, yo, we kicking it with Andy at the house. He's coming to you live from the casting couch. He's a kicker freak. Hey, yo, what you think? So grab a seat and get your favorite drink. Don't go nowhere, you'll be glad you waited. Andy content comes highly rated. He got more hits than a Brooklyn mobster, doing hair tricks in the Cookie Monster. Straight give you goosebumps like you ticklish. Hey yo, rest in peace to Chris the Fish. So get your popcorn, Andy's going live, but the show don't start till Deviant arrives. What?
And this song's got a lot of bass, bro. A lot of bass. Love you guys. Stay living loud.
John K broke up to learn some sound effects. Met some good peeps, now chillin', relax. The after show is lit, yo, check the live chat. And there's a clip, you wanna try that. Kicking It with Andy is such a dope show. He stays super positive and a super chill bro. Making us laugh with his McGill memes. Quality content in all of his streams. Why does Cookie Monster bang harder than a wall? Cause he was the big brand name that started it all. Kick your bass so low that it's messing with your psyche. Y'all running sketcher while my homie running Nike. My homie running Nike. My homie running Nike. My homie running Nike.
Hey yo, Johnny, have a seat, relax. Got this next one. Yeah. Hey yo, check me out. Third verse like that, we say the best for last. Drop a super chat to get your questions asked. 5K subs, yo, he gon' hit. Got a L7X and a Recon kit. Tuesday and Friday, yo, we on the set. Unless he get that Patreon check, go ahead, subscribe, and he's on the mic. If you gotta run by, please hit the like. Solo and Wiz got that fish tank filled, but is he ever gonna finish that Walmart build? Ain't got a witness, so we'll never know. That was 3 minutes, now enjoy the show. Let's go.
My homie running Nike.
Hey yo, Andy, love you, boy. Keep doing your thing, King. You got this.
My homie running Nike.
My homie running Adidas? I don't know, man. I'm more of an and one kind of guy. Walmart special. It definitely works, and it looks like Andy, so no complaints there. And oh man, this guy, I swear, his timing is impeccable. It is literally impeccable. He comes in there and he just takes it every time. This guy.
Cornet. He does traveling installs.
Oh! Oh no! Cornet got sniped by SJC! Love you guys! Impeccable is the name. That's the game. Love you guys. Stay living loud. I'll see you next time.